Good afternoon. You are welcome back in Sanjeevani Mahavidyalaya Chapoli, Department of Physics. This lecture belongs to BSc Physics second year students. Paper number 9, Basic Electronics. In last lecture we have seen about the operational amplifier, its ideal characteristics, various linear applications of op-amp. Today we differential amplifier. Now we are discussing about working of differential amplifier. How differential amplifier works, how output we obtain, how to provide input. So all these things we discuss under working of differential amplifier. Let's see first case where a signal is applied at the base of transistor Q1 and no any signal is applied at the base of transistor Q1. You see there are two transistors Q1 and Q2. Transistor Q1 here, transistor Q2. First case what we are discussing? Here a signal is applied at the base of transistor Q1. Here you see transistor Q1. Carefully observe figure. Then you will come to know this transistor is Q1 and signal is applied to this transistor Q1. I mean base of transistor Q1. This is first case. Here positive supply, negative supply is given. Hence what happens? Q1 acts in two ways. Firstly as a common emitter amplifier by which the applied input at Q1 will provide an amplified inverted signal at output 1. What we are getting? Q1 acts in two ways. Firstly as a common emitter amplifier by which the applied input at Q1 will provide मध्ये जाऊन बोलता का तुम्ही जरा आमच्यासाठी थोडंसं प्लीज. Yes, what is first case? First case is what? Input is applied to the base of transistor Q1 only. At the base of, and no any signal is applied to the base of the transistor Q2. This is first stage. Then due to this first case what happens? Q1 acts in two ways. Firstly as a common emitter amplifier by which applied input at Q1 will provide an amplified inverted signal at output 1. See output 1. You from this figure you carefully observe. This is a signal signal is provided given to the base of Q1, and here V1 out is we obtain in this way, inverted form. Got it? This is like this, and this output at V1, I mean V1 is the output of transistor Q1 is in inverted form, amplified in inverted form. Then secondly as a common collector amplifier. First one is what? Common emitter amplifier. Second case is what? As a common collector amplifier, in which the signal appears at the emitter of Q1. Signal appears at the emitter of Q1 here. Signal appears at the emitter of Q1, which is in phase with the input and slightly smaller. This is in phase with the input, but quietly it is smaller. So the input signal at the base of Q1 drives the transistor, that is Q1, turns on by the positive input signal. The voltage drop across RC1, this is RC1. Voltage drop across RC1 will be more, resulting the collector of Q1 to be less positive. When the input signal is negative, the transistor Q1 will get off, resulting in less voltage drop across RC1, causing collector of Q1 to be more positive. In this way, an inverted output appears at the collector of Q1 by applying the signal at input 1. So in this way, an inverted output appears at the collector of Q1 by applying the signal at input 1. This is collector of Q1. Here what we are getting? Inverted signal by applying the input at Q1. Here at the collector, inverted output we are getting. Here it is mentioned. In this way, an inverted output appears at the collector of Q1 by applying the signal at input number 1. Now interesting thing is that at the time when Q1 gets on by positive half input, the current through RE will increase. As we know, IC is approximately equal to IE. Current through IE will increase. IE will increase with positive sign, positive cycle, positive half cycle. As we know, IC is equal to IE, so the voltage drop at RE will be more, thus causing the emitters of both the transistor to go into the positive direction. This Q2 emitter positive will cause the base of Q2 to be negative. This negative halves will cause less current in Q2. Resultantly, voltage drop at RC2 will also be less, thus the collector goes in positive direction. In this way, we will have non-inverting output at the collector of Q2 for positive input at the base of Q1. Here you see the output is positive. In phase we say with the input at the collector of the transistor Q2. In this way, hence an inverted amplified output will be received at the output of Q1, and the output of Q2 will have a non-inverting amplified output. Now what are common mode signals? What are common mode signals? In a differential amplifier, the voltage generated at the output is proportional to the difference of the two input signals. Name itself says that it is differential amplifier. Means the output what we are getting of the differential amplifier, it is nothing but the amplified output of the difference of two inputs signals. So when the two applied inputs are equal, that is there is no difference between the two input voltage, the resulting output voltage will be 0. See, V1 minus V2 is 0. Already we have seen a formula. V out is equals to what? V out is equals to, output voltage is nothing but, there is a relation. What is the relation? V naught is equal to A in bracket V1 minus V2. But here what is the case? Case is that if both are equal, V1 is equals to V2. In the sense both the inputs V1 and V2 are same. There is no difference. No difference in the sense there is a zero difference. Zero difference in the sense what? This term bracket, the term in the bracket becomes what? Zero. So V0, our output voltage is nothing but A into 0. This A into 0 in the sense what? 0. Right side is 0. As a result, the output voltage becomes what? 0. My point is that whenever both the inputs are equal, same, then there is no output voltage, or output voltage is equal to 0. No difference between two inputs, difference is 0. The output voltage does not, but output voltage becomes what? Will be 0. But practically whenever two similar inputs are applied at both the input terminals, the output does not exactly equal to 0. This point remember. We have seen the ideal characteristics: input impedance high, output impedance low. These are the ideal, but in practice it's not possible. In the same way, practically when two similar inputs, same inputs V1 and V2 are applied to both the input terminals of the differential amplifier, the output doesn't be 0. Practically it is not possible to 0. Then the output in case of common mode signal is of the order of several thousand microvolt. Important key terms in this case: number one, voltage gain. When we talk about the common mode gain, AC is equal to VO upon VC, where VC is the value of common input. VC is the value of common input applied at both the input terminals, and V0 is the output signal. Ratio of output signal, output voltage to the ratio to the value of what? Common input applied at both the input terminals. This is nothing but your voltage gain of the differential amplifier. Now let us turn towards the second term, that is CMRR, common mode rejection. Common mode rejection stands for common rejection ratio. It is given as the ratio of differential mode gain to the common mode gain. It is nothing but differential mode gain upon the common mode gain. So it is equal to 20 log of AD upon AC. In this way, for ideal amplifier, CMRR should be practically infinite, but in actual practice it is not so and has a finite value. CMRR has a finite value, but in case of ideal op-amp it should be what? Infinite, but in practice it's not possible. It is defined as the ratio of desired signal to the undesired signal. Ratio of desired signal to the undesired signal. The larger the CMRR, the better is the amplifier. Differential amplifier provides excellent basic stability because of use of emitter current bias. Remaining matter we shall see in the next lecture. Thank you.